Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Ultimate Apocalypse casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 4 vs 4 on Hadblock Omega. Play on Team 1 as the Imperial Guard, we've got the Blast Furnace, we've got Yharnam Hunter playing as the Orks, we've got Hamid playing as the Dark Eldar, and we've got Tiger Shark playing as the Eldar. Whereas on Team 2 playing as the Imperial Guard, we've got Stranger, we've got Eshan also playing as the Imperial Guard, we've got Moshi playing as the Necrons, and we've got Gorchu playing as the Tyranids. So Hadblock Omega, it's a brand new map for this current iteration of Ultimate Apocalypse. And I mean, just look at the size of it. It's an Ultimate Apocalypse map through and through because it is so bloody big, you can't even fit the whole thing on your screen at any one given time. But it's basically Mario Kart, lots of streets going about. And also, I quite like how these maps, since they are designed specifically for Ultimate Apocalypse, they work really, really well. So plenty of large, wide open streets to avoid the pathing issues with the big Titan units that come online as the game goes on. Lots of attention to detail in the form of these stairs with the Imperial Eagles and some chairs as well, just for good measure. And we've also got some wonderful little like water effects down here with the pipes and like I'm not sure what the flag's happening here, but then again I have had to reduce the graphical quality to make this game work. That's okay. Also like the positioning of these relics, like almost opposite, well, not almost opposite each other. They are indeed opposite of each other. I've got what these guys are like, on flat land. These ones that are on high-rise buildings. These ones in ruins. So plenty of variety in the terrain as well. But also one thing that I mean, maybe a minor point of detail on the map is, I mean, I'll let you notice. I'll let you see if you can notice it yourself. To be honest, right? So just notice anything you see here. Oh look, the Imperium. They drive on the left-hand side of the road, like the God Emperor intended. Gosh darn it. So any disagreements about that, well, you know what? Then you disagree with the Emperor, and that makes you a heretic. So take that. Next time you're driving on the right-hand side of the road, just know that you're participating in heresy, boys and girls. Just know that. Anyway, Hamid is coming over with some Hellions. Going to be bothering the Tyranids over on this side, just making sure that these Raveners aren't causing any issues as the Storm Guardians of Tiger Shark are trying to capture their own relic. We do have the Rangers over here to snipe out the Spine Gaunts, although that being said, it'll be hard to kill them all as they just reinforce stupidly quick. They are also ridiculously cheap. And yeah, they'll just need more DPS to take them on. And I'll be honest, boys and girls, I'm probably not going to capture all the battles going on here. I've already seen some horses being dead, but it's a big map. 4 versus 4s are always quite hectic and chaotic to cast. But that's half the fun, isn't it? We're here for the spectacle, not necessarily the gameplay analytics, because I just don't do it. Love the big mech. It's like, ooh, I could swipe with my axe. I'm not going to. I'm just going to shoot you point blank. And then the bayonet charge from those Imperial conscripts. Just got the horses coming down the flanks as well. Do also appreciate how Stranger's gone for bright purple and Blast Furnace gone for a darker colour. Just so I'm able to differentiate between the two. Very nice. Got some teal blue Orks from Yharnam Hunter. Tempting to get those shooters off, but the conscripts aren't letting them have it. They're thinking, right, okay, well, you're not going to shoot our boys. We'll stab you first before you shoot us down. And proper melee engagements all the way through. Tyranids being very impressive on the Eldar side of things. A forward bioplasma turret already being placed down. Orks attempting to sort them out. And a tunnel being placed on the by the Raveners, allowing the Tyranids to reinforce their guys. Well, there's one tunnel down here. I assume there's one tunnel quite close to the base. Yeah, right here, so Tyranids just been able to funnel their way straight over into the Eldar side of things. Another bioplasma turret as well being vomited up by those rippers there. Rangers not having the best of time. There's no infiltration going on for them at the moment. And all that bioplasma been thrown around. AoE damage and damage over time, I imagine. Making them look like they smell a bit bad. Victoria Broodlord attempting to take down the Listing Post. Actually doing a damn good job at it as well, considering that he is a tier 1 Lord. Not a bad time at all. Dark Eldar coming to the rescue here, or at least sending a small token force. Maybe they just want the Eldar to suffer a little bit before they actually save them, just so they can enjoy the suffering. Orks has given up on the turrets and decided to come over and do some defense. And he's able to keep on top of people with his very impressive jumping and movement speed. Doing a bit of a swish for them. Leave. There we go. Bit of tit for tat. All right, you watched us die a little bit. Okay, well, we're going to leave you to your own fate as well. And yeah, the Tyranids causing some serious issues for the Eldar. We are seeing a squad of very brave Imperial conscripts. Just doing a bit of scouting, a bit of reconnoitering, some would say. Blast Furnace attempts to take care of these incredulous horses. Got Mercy teleporting in the blade ones, which, I mean, yeah, that's not a bad idea. You could just sit back on the sidelines and just throw blade ones in all day long. Got a incredible amount of morale damage from them. But love the sheer amount of flamers from Yharnam hunting here. Very rare that you see Slugger Boys go for this amount of flamers, but it's done the job. If you don't like something, set it on fire. That's the modus operandi of today, I reckon. More bioplasma turrets, so lots of money being pumped into this assault here. Gorchu having no chill whatsoever. He's decided, right, I'm not taking up any time soon. I just want to throw as much meat at the wall as humanly possible. While he might not be able to get an army wipe or even a faction, or what would you call it? A faction wipe, a player wipe, knocking a player out the game early on. He's at least tying up the Eldar and the Dark Eldar. Are these guys making a move? Ah, yes, they are. They are capturing. No, you're not. Dark Eldar, you're on the other team. So actually, the Necrons and the Tyranids not exactly making much use of the map control that they should otherwise be having in this situation. Howling Banshees on the field, but not going to get involved in close combat as of yet. Just using those shuriken pistols to full effect. Black as a night sky are these Tyranids. Like deadly shadows coming out from the grim dark. Sorry, Broodlord, though, not feeling the vibe of the Archon. Oh, I quite like that. Just going to jump inside a tunnel, hide there for the moment, and wait for the Archon to leave him alone. But the Archon using his big hands to dig up that tunnel. Is the Victoria Broodlord still in there? No, he's not. He's in safe places now. Shooter Boys and the Burners of the Sluggers making very quick work of these guardsmen. Also got a big boom coming in from that big mech. Doesn't do a huge amount of damage to the buildings. Stranger now in tier 2, attempting to pop down a field command over yonder, being zapped there by the big mech. He's able to turn around a little bit. That's about it. The 10. Such a bad situation for him. Grenade launchers now for these fully qualified guardsmen. And they also have a sergeant along with them, so the morale is doing a lot better than otherwise normal. Heavy weapons opening fire, and the Orks, there were a lot of them, but now they're not, as that firing line is up and at them. Big Mech, not really, I mean, he could have joined these guys and teleported away, but leaving them to their own fate. It does seem now that the Eldar and Dark Eldar have put aside their differences and are now stabilising on this side. Also got a couple of Ravens, which the Spine Gaunts and the Raveners have had no chance against. It's a very nice shout from Hamid here. If you're up against a melee-heavy faction, then, well, aircraft. Aircraft is always a good idea. Now using the bit of map space here to get a thermal plasma generator for Mercy here. And the Necron Warriors taking out the listing post, or the Tower of Loathing even, on that side. Still a big engagement going on. Heavy weapons teams having a free-for-all roundabouts here. Plenty of guardsmen and guardsman action. Big Mech still in the fight, but only at half health at the moment. Absolutely, they need to make sure this field command does not go up. Any tech beast engineers that come within a hair's breadth of that building needs to be shot. Great impunity. Some smoke grenades up on top to keep the Imperial Guardsmen a little bit safer than normal. Well, the good lord, that listing post got quite the range in him, hasn't he? So those targets have thought, right, we don't want you here anymore. Big Mech, if anything, is just there just to absorb the damage. But this field command, even though it's not finished being built, it's still got remarkable armour. So needs some anti-building damage coming over to it to take it down relatively quickly. I don't think these guys have it. I don't think you're into that much in the way. Oh, I mean, Imperial Guardsmen over here, you're in tier 2. And the Orks, I assume, yeah, you're in tier 2. You've got that mech lab on the go. But chimeras and chaff everywhere. Nothing fancy, nothing special. Just good old reliable beef and machinery. Lovely use of the tank shops though to prevent the chimeras from making their way through this area. But flanking troops from Eshan should cause them some issues. Down over on this side, the Eldar just pushing over, not being not costed too much. We do now have some warriors there. Got that health effects, counter effects for the range damage. And that's what you want. Constant damage over time to break down those lightly armoured banshees. And just a good firing line of heavy weapons teams. Build command now finishing. Slowly but surely, they've got 2 tech presences. Oh, never mind, they've got a whole flock of them coming on over. Eldar keeping the morale down for all the guardsmen here. Could have been used much earlier, to be fair. Now being pushed back to their side of the map. Their side of the road, to be fair. And Eshan seeing if he can push his advantage. Maybe get the enlisting post down over on this side done. Plenty of grenade launchers, which is not great for all these conscripts. I assume that Blast Furnace team is just going to throw loads of conscripts into melee and allow his fully qualified guardsmen to do the damage at range. I'm saying retreat, love that spelling, very good. But in the high octane combat, can't really judge a man for spelling. But we are on the internet, and judging people based on their spelling is what we do. Big banner bomb here, oh dear. Those guys definitely, last thing they saw was not a nice sight to see. Ravens now coming over for firing support, taking care of the heavy weapons teams, which is very nice actually. After all, these guys would have to break through a frontline force, but the Ravens can just fly over them, so nice little bit of teamwork going on there. Does leave the Eldar over here a little bit vulnerable. We've got some warriors. Effect seems to be charging into close combat with that one for Gorchu. Raveners and warriors following up these carnifexes. That's just a lot of high health, high armor infantry, and well, I suppose that plus armored vehicles are these Hellfex carnifexes. More ravens, but I mean the ravens aren't exactly ideal for breaking down things like these carnifexes. Definitely need some more anti-vehicle stuff. Or I suppose the Corsairs have gone for some bright lances. Just need to avoid being hit really. They are very glass cannony. More so than your regular Eldari. Necron has come over to show some bits and bobs going on, and I assume you are just taking up as quickly as possible. I mean, not really actually. Because we haven't seen you being engaged in much fighting. So that's what I was assuming you were just holding back and getting that tech up, but not as fast as you'd expect to see from them. Team 1 now firmly in control of the high-rise area on this side, forcing the purple guardsmen backwards. Unable to really rely on those heavy weapons anymore, but they have managed to get this field command online, so that is something that will defend this strategic point and also hopefully deny this bigger generator. Adam Hunter claiming that for himself, as I imagine the Orks will take up that tech tree as quickly as possible. They have to research all their special units from this mech lab. It is quite expensive. Also get their population growth on the go. They need to upgrade their war banners. There's a very investment-heavy faction, are the Orks in Ultimate Apocalypse. I, for one, can't seem to play them very well. It just doesn't run right in my brain. The idea that they've got to do lots of teching up the Orks. You think in your head it'd be a lot simpler, just get more boys, and then they just get what they want, but that's fine. It makes them interesting, makes them different from any other faction. Gives them a bit of a dynamic. It is a shame that I do like playing Orks in every other version of Dawn of War. I'm just not a smart player. I'm not a smart man. Oh dear, this guy's just hanging around. If you pardon the pun. But getting a wonderful view of it, if he was alive, that is. I guess you could say he's been left a bit breathless, being left up there. Aha! Ho, 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 ho. I'll leave. In fact, I can't leave. They won't let me leave. I'm here forever, I'm afraid. Got some bio nonsense, but the warriors don't seem to mind it. They're just going to drive on through. Got a hive spire over here. So I assume the Tyranids are planning to build a forward base for defensive reasons. Immortals been turned against each other and stunned by that Archon. Plenty of Ravens do love Hamid's tactic of just making sure that the Dark Eldar presence is felt across the map. Immortals having no chill. They're just going to go forward. I don't think they'll do all that much in this situation. Now this field command is going to be costed by as many lads and lasses as humanly possible. and orkily possible. But not much in the way of anti-building stuff still. Plus, oh no, never mind me. They've got a couple of... In fact, they've got 3 melter guns on that one squad. Even then, it's going to take them a while to break through the rockcrete of that building. I'm trying to keep the Primaris Psyker at bay, but it's quite resistant to range damage. I want to take him down in close combat, but even then in close combat, he's able to zap people nearby. He's not great. He's a real tough customer, is this Primaris Psyker. Definitely one of the better Imperial Guard commanders in any stage of the game, really, whether it's early game or late game. Oh my goodness, bomber squigs, yes! Send the bomber squigs in. And just huge explosions. Good, there's that. Just one guy exploding. Good Lord in heaven, that's quite a sizable explosion. Thankfully, it seems that if they're blown up at range, they do a lot less explosive stuff. But still, man, yeah. I want to see more of that, Yharnam Hunter. Are you building up some more? I certainly hope that you are. That was fantastic. Maybe some grot tanks as well, just for good measure. Striking Scorpions, sneaking around with their chain blades. Also got the Corsairs armed with a D cannon. In fact, I'm going to go for a second one as well. Oh no, sorry, you've got a Shadow Weaver Grav platform. And then you're also going to go for D cannon. I mean, why not? Variety is the spice of life. As Yvrain probably said, I assume that's who I'm quoting there. Field Command still standing strong. One benefit of it is that it can just build its own builders. So it's always got a ready supply of people to repair it in a tight situation. Plenty of plasma fire coming from him. Also got a Hydra AA tank. Mishan, so if the Ravens do come back on over, we're shot out of the sky. Great retribution. Necron Warriors now joining the fight. For a couple squads, in fact. So far, Gorchu holding back Eldar and Dark Eldar. More or less 2 versus 1. Now some Necron assistance. That might change the tide somewhat. We do have some... Oh, right, the Ravens are here. And they are attempting to kill plasma generators, but that Hydra just cruising on over. Now he's ready. Fire upwards, young man. That's the whole purpose of you. Oh, just watch them fly away. Well, you know, I mean, they kind of look pretty, don't they? It's a shame to shoot them down. Just imagine the conversation. Jenkins, shoot down that plane. I'm sorry, I can't, sir. The aesthetic beauty of it, it's just so overwhelming. Wait, Tyranids, they've killed all the stuff here. Eldar about to lose the relic once again. They need to change their tune. What else are you going to go for? Although, in fact, let me swap to the Eldar just so I can actually see what they're going for. Not much. Going for a second webway assembly. Getting some more economy. They don't have a huge amount of economy at the moment. Focusing too much on just trying to hold back the tide. And it does seem now that Stranger's reclaimed the top here. I feel Command certainly paying in dividends as the games go on. But Blast Furnace, it's not beaten yet. Also, can we just appreciate use of a Hedgehog as a banner? It is rumoured that Blast Furnace did do the Harry Potter Pottermore test to figure out what house he was in. He was in Hufflepuff for obvious reasons. His Patronus was a Hedgehog. Although entirely unconfirmed rumour, I don't know, I mean, maybe. For those of you who have done the test, what house were you in Harry Potter? I was put in Slytherin, believe it or not. My Patronus was a green grass snake. So, fun little bit of trivia in the background for all you millennials that read the books, or more than likely probably watched the films. I never read the books, because I could not be bothered. I'm of the opinion that if there's a film out of it, I'll watch the film instead. That being said, though, the books are usually better, aren't they? I'm away, sneaky tank busters coming around the sides. They've killed some bits and bobs. They will die fairly soon. Tyranids continuing their impressive march, going on into the Eldar side of things. Corsairs trying to do their best. And those D-cannons are proving quite useful. Striking Scorpions, going toe-to-toe with whatever they can get their hands on. And still got the Rangers, actually. Question mark. Not sure if the Rangers are what you need in this situation. Considering as well that the Tyranids and the Necrons as well have got no morale in Ultimate Apocalypse. We're going to do any morale damage to them. Here come the Dark Eldar. I've got some Trueborn Warriors that these guys really do kick ass if left to their own devices. Will crumble like Ravita if you look at them weird, but look at that grenade, just high arc. Definitely a good throwing arm on that little soldier there. It's waxing and waning in their numbers at the moment. Forcing over here just a whole scrum. So I couldn't even tell you what's going on in this situation. Just guardsmen fighting guardsmen. I mean, it's close quarters action. Explosions everywhere. There's a nuclear explosion or something. Well, a mini nuke. Was that no, there's no nuclear flying Ork vehicles at the moment. Priest getting in there with a chainsaw. Ripping and tearing through anyone and everyone. We've also got a blooming Soulstorm on top of the guardsmen, sending them back to the grave. Good lord, it's just the where guardsmen stood there. Now not as many as they'd probably like. That's a lovely use of the light cover that the guardsmen can make use of. They can always pop down a couple of sandbank. Are they called sandbanks? Sandbags is what they're called. Little entrenchment things. Very nice stuff. Got Cascans for Stranger. Superior firepower, but most explosions from someone. Who is that bringing in the big booms? You have the Commissar Cadets in there as well. Glorious. Hitting them, not with the sword necessarily, but with the butt of their rifle. Help Necrons. The Necrons are required for help. I assume, yeah, the Tyranids are being pushed back by the Eldar. And, oh, I see, right. Moshi's new to this. Okay, well, you know what? I will then say the usual caveat. Please do be nice in the comments. Don't be that one guy who says every single game, oh my goodness, new play. I mean, why even cast a game? Don't be that one guy. You know who the guy is. If you read the comment section, just don't be him, man. Rise above it. Be better. Well, I love this line of bioplasma turrets. Trying to keep these guys at bay as the combat is spreading. And it's just a constant back and forth on this northern side here. Every time you think the Hedgehog, Blast Furnace, and the Orks are pushing through, Stranger just pulls more men out of his backside. Although I suppose there are two Imperial Guard players, and throwing in cheap chaff infantry is exactly the kind of fight that they enjoy. What are the Orks doing? Oh, you're building ouchie platforms. That's how you're going to take over this. Oh, you've got two build commands now. War boss in there, and you are quite sizable in this mod. You're a little bit bigger than normal. Yeah, that's a good tactic. Just build up loads of ouchie platforms. Ooh, and you've also got double kill bursts as well. Beautiful shade of blue. Do wish that in these bigger games I was able to turn the graphical details up, because it looks a bit boxy, but I promise you these models do look quite remarkable when you're able to crank up the graphics. Build command being shot up. Plenty of meat. Oh, here comes another Soulstorm. Also morale being broken across the lines. It's a Dark Eldar. I mean, have you got a good harvesting soul thing on the go? Oh, you don't. You don't have much of one. Oh, no, you do. You've got one slave standing around waiting for the souls to come online. I suppose harvesting souls is better than having to build stuff on the front lines. You've got Reapers, the artillery options for the Dark Eldar. The artillery, they've just kind of got in point blank range, fire away as much as they can. It's sorely been beaten back. The Necrons did have some monoliths. Where have they gone? Oh, they've come all the way over here to support in this assault. Probably wanted to go over and help the Tyranids, but there we go. Yeah, those ouchie platforms, you know, they live up to the name, do a lot of damage. We're seeing a small fleet of vulture gunships flying on high, going around the flanks and seeing what they can destroy. I assume, as always, the plasma generators are the key target to go for. Guard now having to fall back potentially for defensive reasons. Down over here, double Wraith Lords sorting out the business. Firewall's questionable choice, although you're supposed to go for toxic spore mines. Do you do a lot of damage against vehicles? I don't think you should do. It seems to be working for you, and hey, you know what? If it works, what is that meme with the guy holding the dynamite? Saying, hey, as long as it works. I know my memes. I've been on 9 gang once or twice in my life. Trueborn warriors attempting to go forward. Don't really want those guys to be taking the brunt of the damage, but hey, I mean, what was it? Law reasons they can always regenerate themselves if they die. Not a bad idea, really. Cheap immortality. Here's a Stormblade, a huge plasma gun on him. And the Tyranid Hive Tyrant. Beautiful wings. Bit of a weird kill animation, but I'm sure they'll fix that one day. Whenever he does that, it always makes me think of that Fox kids cartoon, The Gargoyles. It was a classic kids cartoon. Oh, this namby-pamby, hairy-fairy nonsense to get today. No, it was just muscular gargoyles doing gargoyle things. But only at night. During the day, they turn into stone. Well, the Vulture gunships that came over to provide some support. Stranger defending, although that does make this side of things a little bit more skew-whiff. But in saying that, Hoshi has got the Siege Monolith online and also the Homeworld portal. Be able to bring forth some Necrons here, lads and lasses. Also got plenty of heavy destroyers. Engaging glorious hand-to-hand combat, as it should be, really. Able to blast them in the face. Being ripped apart molecule by molecule. Eldar don't really seem to have an answer for him at the moment. And to be fair, the Eldar don't have an answer to the Stormblade neither. They weren't expecting to see some Imperial Guard come on over. Now, zooming backwards. Vulture gunships, how much damage did you do? Not much, I can't imagine. Not much at all. Just by a cursory glance. Not sure where these guys are going. Doing a little bit of a flip before them dying. Yeah, all these Trueborn just massed in a small area. Don't want to spread those guys out if this much artillery and AoE damage is coming into you. I have time and just loving this. Thinking, right, just all you stand there. I'll get involved. Spine Goats without number being summoned in by the Hive Mind there. As the Tyranids in Ultimate Apocalypse do have Hive Mind abilities. Though these units do cost a lot more, I think, when you summon them in that way. In rather the traditional sense, but you know, if you've got money, why not spend it? God, just so oppressive, this animation. You can barely see anything. I'm going to tilt my camera away just a little bit. There we go. And the Orks, well, they're just not following the rules, are they? They're driving on the wrong side of the road. No respect for the highway code. I've taken out one field commander. By the sheer amount of blooming outer platforms. You can always build more as well, can't they? They're just powerful weapons on these boys. Love the sound of their guns as well. Field command still firing plasma guns outside of their little portholes. Necron Siege Monolith. Specifically designed to take out Titans and big vehicles and stuff. So he might not have the best time engaging with the looters, but could really do with turning his attention to this kill burster. But saying that, if he teleports nearby, then these outer platforms will kill him, so maybe just wait for something more mobile. We do have vultures still knocking around, and any plasma generators that they can see, they are going to attempt to shoot on down. Can the Reapers fire upwards towards the guns? Well, I mean, maybe. We didn't see the animation, but they are dead. Stormhammer, or whatever that was called, is dead by the double fire dragons. So, kind of like a factory reset on the southern side there. So much fighting, and yet so little ground actually being covered or taken by either Team 1 or Team 2. It's been quite static. I've seen the Siege Monolith flying on high. And Strange even says it. These guys have managed to not only hold their own, but also tech up quite considerably. which is not ideal, really, when you think about it. These guys have been throwing so much stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks that they've been spending too much money on not doing the teching up thing. Which is actually quite, quite a testament of skill to Team 1. They were defending on less stuff, making it work. Like I say, I mean, for obvious reasons, if Moshi is new, might have been a different story if he was being a bit more proactive with those Necrons, but it's alright. I was expecting, to be fair, when we saw those flayed ones being teleported in a little bit earlier, I assumed that was just the plan, just everyone attacks, and then flayed ones just been thrown around everywhere, just for good measure. The Tyranids now on the back foot. That's not where they want to be. Not exactly amazing in a defensive posture. They want to be on the attack. They want to be constantly making the enemy be forced to reposition themselves. They're unable to make use of any kind of firepower that they've got to bring to bear. Getting a surround on the Dice of Destruction. Big Dark Lance. Or Big Scythe, or whatever you call that ability. Scaving their way through the Tyranids. Those Trueborns with their very long-range weapons. The Greater Dark Lance. Like a Dark Lance, but believe it or not, just a little bit better. If you can believe the marketing. Tyranids not having a great time. Looters as well. Finally bringing down that field command. So now the Imperial Guard have lost their presence on this side of the map at the moment. Got plenty of guardsmen there for them to fight through. Also got that Nightbringer as well, which is, I don't know. Oh, can a Nightbringer die? Well, I mean, he T-poses. That's intimidating, isn't it? Fear me, for I am the mighty T-poser man. But even such an intimidating stance. What's sort of Dark Eldar and Eldar for pushing in the Tyranid side of things. Have time jumping over the edge. Once again, constant use of that. I have time to try and tie up the back lines, which is very nice to see. Not able to do much else. Seen the first zone threats of the game. On their own, they don't do that much damage. Oh, we've got a Necromon. Oh, yeah, we've got a Monolith down here to help get these guys in position a little bit quicker. Yeah, the Warriors, or the Immortals, sorry. Not Immortal anymore when those True Warriors, or True Born Warriors even, take them down. Yeah, that's just consistent damage. Very long range. Ideal at breaking down buildings and stuff. We do have a Storm Sword. Summoned in by Blast Furnace. You can't move anyway, surrounded by buildings, so I assume that you would just drop podded in there. I'm psychic, attempting to say, oh, get off the things. Not welcome here. Do manage to get him down. But only after great cost and pain. Does seem like the Siege Monolith is stuck by the looks of things. Or can it not move when it's flying? I'm entirely sure. Kill Crusher's almost been killed. Or Kill Burster even, so Kill Crusher's a completely different vehicle. Yeah, Tyranids are on their way out. Unless the Imperial Guard can come over and do some defensive. No, never mind. Imperial Guard way here. But then the Orks bringing forth the nuclear bomber. That's everything more or less dead. Also, Storm Sword. Not doing Stranger any favours here. Finish off the remnants of the buildings. Storm Monolith, unsupported. Do have a... What are you guys over yonder? You are Deathstrike Pariahs. Stranger leaving in German. Warp Spider. Not sure how these random Warp Spiders got all the way over here, but that's a thing. And yeah, Mosh is gone. Gorchu's gone. Last man standing is Ishan. So, I mean, we all love a glorious last stand, but I think that's going to put this guy out of his misery. End the cast there. But yeah, it was a really impressive game from both teams, in considering that there's been so much fighting, but not really any ground gained or lost. On the northern side specifically, and on the southern side, every single time Tyranids gained the ground, the Eldar and Dark Eldar got it back. Then whenever the Dark Eldar and Eldar got extra ground, Tyranids got that back as well. And that, you know, that Tyranid player was basically playing 1 versus 2 for the majority of that situation, so very nice stuff indeed. Cheers, Tiger Shark for sending that game into the Discord. If you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets rewards a game a week. And there is also Discord, where Discord things happen. Linked in the description as always. As with Mr. Land Shark, pleasure's always never short. Now, see you in a bit. Peace.